Hi guys, my name is Yele of Yelestitches. Yelestitches is a female fashion brand that makes female dresses and accessories, and today I want to teach you how to make a shift dress, an A-line shift dress. I know I already did a straight shift dress, but this one I just wanted to teach you how to cut the pattern for an A-line shift dress. If you want to see the other video on how to make a straight one, I'll put it in the description box below, and you can also see it in the suggestion box right above me. So let us get right into it. I'm cutting the back first because we are doing something special to the front. So the first thing is to make sure that your folded fabric is greater than your hip circumference divided by 4 by at least 2 inches. So for example, if your hip is 40 inches, divided by 4 is 10 inches. So your fabric folded into 2 should be at least 12 inches. Alright, so the first thing I did was measure 3 inches from the edge of my folded part, and then measured another 5 inch, and on that 5 inch mark, after the 3 inches, I went down by 1 inch, and then I'm just going to join those two slants as my shoulder slant, as you can see me do right now. Now, because this is a sleeveless dress and I don't want the sleeve to be all the way to my shoulder, I'm going to just measure a few inches from my neckline, probably about 2 to 3 inches depending on your preference, and then I'm just going to mark that point and then take my armhole line straight down. Now, normally the measurement of your armhole length should be your shoulder divided by 2, then plus 0.5 inches. Now, because this is a sleeveless dress, again, you don't need to add the extra 0.5 inches. If possible, subtract 0.5 inches. If your client is a medium size or to small size, you can subtract 0.5 inches. But if your client is a plus size or a bigger size, you can leave it as shoulder divided by 2 and measure that length all the way down. So for mine, I am measuring about 6.75 inches from the top all the way to where 6.75 inches lands on my dress. So after that, I take my bust measurement, then I take my my waist measurement. Then after I take my waist measurement, then I take my hip measurements. Now, because this is an A-line dress and we want it to be a little bit free on our bodies, for each of these measurements you can add 1 to 2 inches extra for the freeness of the dress. Now, for your hip measurements, it is your normal measurements by adding 2, that is 10 inches. But the issue is you are making this an A-line dress, so it's supposed to be free at the edge. So for a short A-line dress, at the bottom of your fabric, you can add about 4 to 5 inches extra to your hip measurements to get how flare or how wide you want your A-line dress to be. For a long one, you can add about 6 to 8 inches for the flare of your A-line dress. So it depends on you. If it is like a medium one that goes to your knee, for example, you can add 5 inches. But this one goes to right above my knee. So I added just about 4 inches extra to my hip measurement to make that A-line shape you see at the bottom. So the next thing is to measure from your waist to the bottom of the dress. You will see that if you check the measurements from your waist to the bottom and you check your measurements of that slant line, they are a little bit different. So I just took the difference away from that, and that's what I curved into the normal base of the dress to make it look like a cone. All right, so I just slanted that line all the way to make the dress in a nice curve. So after we do that, the next thing we're going to do is to go to our neckline. Now, the neckline that I want to use is 4 inches by 4 inches. But for the back, remember we're cutting the back, I'm just going to use 4 inches by 1 inch because it's a high neck at the back. So 4 inch by 1 inch at the back, and you are good to go for the length of your back. Now I want to elongate the side shoulder side a little bit, just a little bit, because of the allowance. I forgot that I was actually drawing on the fabric itself and not a pattern paper, so I'm just adding the extra allowance that I need for that. So the next thing is to then draw in my armhole curve. Okay, so for the armhole curve, you find the middle of your arm length and then draw a curve to meet your bust, exactly just like that. Like I said, if you need a crash course on how to do all this, you can check my basic bodice pattern draft, and you can also check how to make a shift dress. All these videos are already on my YouTube channel, and you can just binge watch and watch any you like. Just keep watching and watching and watching. To be so nice, very nice. All right, so as I was saying, I'm just cutting out my fabric, and after cutting out that part, now we're going to move to the front. Remember, we are doing something special for the front, something very, very special for the front. So now let's go to the front of our dress. Now I'm going to tell you the secret to why I'm doing this mix and match in the first place. I didn't have enough of the red fabric to make a full shift dress, and that is why I want to mix and match it with this fine silk African print fabric that you will see me add momentarily. But okay, for now, let me just show you how I cut the side panels. So for this dress, it has 3 panels in front, the middle panel and the 2 side panels. So right now I want to cut out the 2 side panels with the red fabric, and you can see that I'm using the back panel or the back draft or the back pattern to cut out this red panel. So this is the nice print that I want to use to combine it. But for now, let us just first of all cut out the sides. So I laid my back pattern right on top of the red fabric, and I'm just going to trace out the sides that I want. And you see that I just notched the part, or I marked the part that I am going to use the middle panel to cut out. So at this point, I'm just going to take a break from speaking for now, so you can just watch me do the magic that I'm about to do, because even I can't really explain the magic. I just know that it happened. So just have a wonderful time watching it for now, and I'll be back to put in any input that needs to be imputed while the video is going on. Thank you. Okay, so after cutting all my panels together, the next thing I did was stitch the middle panel to the side panel and the other middle panel to the other side panel, like just the way you are seeing me do. And now I'm going to cut the neckline, because remember, this is the front and I just did a tiny neckline with the back one, but the back and the front neckline are not exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is to arrange my fabric and then cut out the neckline. So for the front neckline, I'm just going to use the measurement of 4 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going down by 4 inches across like so, and then at the edge I'm just going to draw a curve right there, so you see that it's the curved 4 by 4 inch mark. Now where's my chalk? Here's my chalk. Alright, so now I'm curving it out, and then you see the front neckline, of course, is deeper than the back neckline, and that is all that is there to be seen on cutting this nice special middle panel A-line shift dress. Okay, so I want to make sure that the shoulder length that I put for the front is the same as the shoulder length that I put for the back. So I'm just going to trace off the shoulder lengths for the front and back to make sure they're exactly the same, and then I'm covering it out like so. It's just to make sure that they're exactly the same. Yours might have ended up being the same, like if you followed the rules. Even I didn't follow the rules and I'm not giving them, but I'm just correcting myself now and making sure that both of them are exactly the same. And then now I cut out the armhole for the front, and voila, we are through with cutting our pattern. Now, after this, you can face the neckline, or you can use a bias tape around the neckline for the front and back. You can create an opening at the back so that the dress can easily pass through your neck. You can put pockets in the dress. You can make it anyhow or however you want it to be. And the rest of the journey is self-explanatory. And if you need more information, please go check out the simple shift dress video that I already have on my YouTube. It will give you more information and shed more light on it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.